Alright, in step one, you created your medium. Here's that medium right here. It's the egg with water and a little bit of vinegar. This is your medium and will be used to take your powder pigment and turn it into a liquid paint. Now, here I'm going to show you some of the materials you will need to use, and they include your pigment. So this first color is ultramarine blue. It's going to be your blue color. Your yellow color is light yellow ochre. And then your red is Venetian red. And then white is going to be titanium white. I won't go into much about these paints, but if you're wondering why you only have 4 colors, it's because the whole idea around Renaissance painting was they had very limited supplies and usually painted with what's called a limited palette, which means few colors. You have 3 primary colors, red, yellow, blue, and white, which will be very important, and that's going to allow you to have brighter colors or to make your colors a more white, what's called tint, which we can get into later. But with these 4 colors, you should be able to paint really any painting from the time period. These were the 3 most popular colors, although Venetian red, yellow ochre, and ultramarine blue, there may have been other versions of these 3, but if you were a painter during the time of Leonardo da Vinci, these 3 colors would have been a very valuable and great addition to any artist's collection. So when we go to make paint, you need first your pigment, which is this dust. And it's literally materials found around the ground or in different areas that are natural products of the earth. And then you would grind them up and then mix them with the egg tempera medium. So let's just do a demonstration and see what this would look like. I'm going to just take a little bit of this egg tempera and just get it onto the palette, which is this gray circular plate I'm using. And when I have a pretty good amount here, as you can see, I can take one of the colors and mix it into this liquid medium. So I'm going to dab my brush into the blue and just mix it in, and you can see it instantly becomes almost like a blue watercolor finished product. And I'll show you on this canvas board what that would look like. And it's very wet, which is good. It's not very dry and pasty, but almost like watercolor. This is a good consistency to use when painting. Sometimes you want it to be a little more thick, and the thicker you have it, the more or the darker it'll be. So I just added a very little bit more pigment, and you can see it does make it a little darker. Just like that. I'm drying my brush on a towel that I have placed here, but you can use paper towels just the same. I'm going to do this one more time and take my brush and bring in more pigment and just really darken it up. It's still very wet. It's not a very dry, pasty paint, which some paints are. And you can see it gets a little bit darker. If I want to clean my brush at any time, I can take a little bit of water, just like that. Now, I can do what I just did for each color, and I can have a very thin type of paint, a less thin, or a little thicker, darker paint. And if I wanted to, I could really create a very, very darker paste that you probably won't need. But the idea here is the more pigment you put into your medium, it will become darker, darker, thicker, and heavier. Just like this. And I'm going to clean this. And any pigment that you choose to do this with, the same process will happen. And that's an important fact that you need to recognize and can use when painting your picture.